So the first thing I want to talk about is rhyming. And rhyming, I realize, is not like other things you have to do in music. I mean, I do think there's a musical element to this whole thing because you're going to do it in a rhythm. And, hip hop is not just, some other form of poetry. It is poetry and music really brought together. But rhymes behave differently than other things in music because pretty much everything else in music is really finite. There's a very small kind of number of tokens or mathematical possibilities that make up the stuff you can do. Rhymes are not like that. There are so many words and so many possibilities, especially when you get into freestyle hip hop where the rhymes do not have to be perfect rhymes, where you can do slant rhymes or things where the vowels match but the consonants don't. In fact, that's necessary in freestyle hip hop because there's just no way you're going to come up with enough words for what you need only using perfect rhymes all the time. It's just darn near impossible to do, and there's really no point. So, and in that sense, rhyming just can't be memorized. I mean, for a long time, I really tried to just put cards of every type of rhyming word that I could need, every single perfect rhyme for every single word that I was studying, just cards all over my house to try to memorize all the rhymes. And I realized you can't do it. You couldn't do it over the course of your whole life, I don't think. Even if you were a great person at memory exercises, I don't think you could memorize every rhyming word in the English language, every little group that there could be. And I realized there's also no point, is that rhymes are just kind of there. They just kind of bury themselves in your brain unconsciously through the course of life. Your brain is just designed to find these things. And what you have to do is you have to learn how to kind of build up your rhyming muscle, your ability to just pull rhymes out of nothing. And there's no other way I can describe it except you just pull at it. It's a totally mysterious process, but anyone who really tries at it finds they can do it. So here's the way we're going to get into it. We're going to build it up a little bit at a time. We're going to really build up your rhyming muscle. And the whole thing is just getting in the zone with this. Start with something easy. You're going to find simple one-syllable words, and you're just going to try to think of words that rhyme with them. And to make it even easier, we're going to find a book. A boring book. The most boring book you can find. I have an English book of German grammar. I don't think you can get much more boring than this. Here, in fact, challenge for the comments. Anyone who can find a more boring book than this, tell the world. Here we go. I'm going to whip open the book to any old page. Day, play, say, fray, stray. You just start going. When you start doing it, it's not going to be that easy. You're going to start saying, I'm going to get like here, and you're going to be like, you're going to be stuck at first. You have to pull. You have to dig. You have to just totally disinhibit yourself and just push, push, push. If you get stuck on a word for about 10 seconds or so, go on to the next one. Don't dwell on it. But your goal is to crunch out as many rhymes, just pure rhyming words as you can for any word you come up with. And I mean, if you want to, if it helps, write them down on paper. So every time you do this exercise, whip out a notebook, start with your word meet. Write down feet, greet, beat, seat. Your perfect rhymes, preferably your perfect rhymes first, and just crank out as many as you can until you're stuck for a solid 10 seconds. Then just go on to the next word. And just keep doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that. And once you've done that a couple of times, 5 or 6 times, and you've really dug in, maybe done it for 10 minutes or so, you start to feel it come a little easier. That's really important. You got to just trust if you dig at this, it's going to come. So the next thing you want to do is kind of level yourself up a bit and start to think about what we call multisyllabics. And multisyllabics means there's more than one syllable in the word. And there's 2 things that you have to start to think about with multisyllabics, is that trying to find perfect rhymes for multisyllabics is damn near impossible. And guess what? You don't have to. You start to bend the rules the more complicated the words get. And there's 2 ways that you bend the rules. One of them is you think about what syllable the emphasis is on. And you can kind of blend words together sometimes to make phrases that fit the contour of the word rather than coming up with an exact word that matches it exactly. The other thing you do is you start to use slant rhymes. And slant rhymes means that either the vowel is a little bit different, or preferably, the main way that happens is the consonants aren't the same. So let me whip up my boring book again and find a 2-syllable word. Valley, Sally, galley, Halsey. Okay, something in the artist, musical artist, Halsey. Well, the Z sound isn't in the first word, but guess what? It's still okay. You know, I'm going down the girls in the valley. I'm singing this song that was written by Halsey. No one's going to judge me for doing that in a freestyle. It's fine. It's not a perfect rhyme. Nobody cares. So a lot, it's white people have the hardest time letting this go, I swear. But I'm telling you, whatever it is, let it go. The rhymes don't have to be perfect. And often, if you want to bend words, even going, if I was trying to rhyme with Halsey, oh, I went down into the valley. I met this girl named Halsey. I don't know how she found me. The ow and the e, those vowels, those are the important parts. I just literally took two other words that weren't one thing. But as long as it kind of, it kind of has valley, strong, weak, Halsey, found me. I bend the vowels just a little bit, and I don't worry about the consonants. But as long as the stress contour matches, you're good. So then, when you're really feeling ready, you start doing more multisyllabic rhyme. Railway, sail away, fail to play, I'm never gonna stay. You can start to stretch things more and more, but as long as the contour of them starts to feel right, you're gonna go further. So you want to just stretch this and stretch this and stretch this and stretch this. It's its own exercise, and what really gets fun, once you start to really freestyle a lot, you start to do a game called Wordsmith. I used to do this at the Cypher I went to a lot, where someone would just throw you a random word. And, everyone's going to try to screw with you. They're going to throw you words like orange and month and every word that they're like, you can't do. But when you really start to get this, you try to rhyme a word with a word like month. I don't think I can do it, but somehow to be blunt, I think it's something I can do in this stunt. You don't really worry about it after a while. You realize that once you can bend things, there's nothing anyone can throw at you that you can't rhyme with. And when you kind of get to that level, you're ready for the next step. Actually, you shouldn't wait until you get to that step to do the other exercises because it takes a while, but there's rhyming. It's just starting with easy one-syllable words, then getting into multisyllabics and kind of bending the rules a bit, and then eventually getting into wordsmith, where people just throw you the wackiest word you possibly can, and you try to play with it. Favorite thing of mine, I got this book called Words. This is just a book of the strangest words imaginable. Okay, Glenhaven. Think about all the things that I've been craving. Think of all the people that I've been saving. I'm a superhero. Let's see, what's another random word? Bureaugence. I don't know how to spell bureaugence, but I wish that I could get a euro once if I was busking in Europe. When people start throwing words at you like that, and you can just come up with rhymes off the top of your head, you're pretty much square to go with this. So the next key is to get down the rhythm and matching with your context. And when you can put all those things together, then you're freestyling.